Hey guys, welcome back to IBDP CS Knowledge Bites. Uh, Today we will be continuing where we left off. This is part 3. I recommend you see part 1 and 2 for a deeper understanding of what we are doing. Today we will be talking about, since we are creating a new system, how will the user, the end user, be informed of how to use the system? This topic is called user documentation. User documentation is any documentation that explains how to use the features and functions of a system in its like for the user, how the user can use the features and the functions that the software offers. It can come in the form of book, PDF, website, video, etc. Earlier it used to be books. Now increasingly it's becoming website and video, like YouTube tutorials also companies are doing. User documentation is important, uh, because they can, suppose I'm lost, we can have like a reference on the steps which we are doing and whether it's actually there in the software or not. Like some particular features, and we can see, like, I did not know there was this particular feature. So user documentation helps the user to know, like, what are the features and the functionality of the particular software. uh, some things to consider when you are making the user documentation is that simpler is better. They are non-technical people, obviously. They only know they only need to know how much, like, what they need to know. They do not have any background knowledge in code or something. So we need to explain to the user in plain language how to use it so they can actually understand and reap the benefits of the service. Quality is important, obviously. It needs to be clean, it like simple language, but also precise, and like actually getting the user forward in the productivity aspect. As I said, users, they do not know how to code, they're not developers. So it will guide, if it's well made, it will guide the users through the system and like help them increase their productivity. Yeah, that's why over here I said, if the user documentation is simple, the like the user can get to use your product faster. System implementation, the user can use your product faster and more efficiently because they know what exactly they need to do to get a particular search come up, or particular way to manipulate the software. These are some types of user documentation: help files, online support, and printed manuals. Help files are files supplied with the system. Usually will come up with the button in the system. Some advantages are that they are accessible anytime. They give general instructions on how to use the system, and they can solve the major issues or errors. This help file is more like the frequently asked questions uh, are in the help file. Some disadvantages: they can only be used as the system is installed because they come together with the system. They also don't like give any help when installing this solution. They only deal with very general errors, not the specific errors, because it's, if they dealt with every kind of errors, it will be a very long help file and not many people would read it. They often lack search capability, and you have to look for the help to find the help for the problem. So help file, it usually comes with the system. Some examples we could use is Microsoft Word. Sorry, we can use here also help. We can ask for help. Like over here, we can ask for some help from the, if you're having trouble seeing the slides or something, we can ask for help over here. Then that's for the help files. Next, we have online support. Next, we have is online support. This is special websites hosted by the system developers to provide users with system documentation. Again, some advantages is frequently asked questions can be kept there. Uh, they are extensive compared to help files, so that means you actually can get more help from online support. They continuously get revised to deal with the newer problems, maybe some more complex problems also. They also sometimes provide option for live support, talking to a real human that might fix the problem. Some disadvantages are they are useless if the user has no internet connection because it's online. So online meaning you have to have the internet connection. Uh, the live chats won't work if the user is not familiar with the system itself. I clicked that button and then something happened. Sometimes you're not able to explain because I said users are not developers. They cannot explain what problem they're having. This button, I clicked this button, then that thing showed up, that button, something happened. So that's why online support, that's a disadvantage because humans are inherently not the best at communicating their ideas. Printed manuals are printed papers. Usually nowadays, these happen less, but with more expensive purchases, I guess it happens a bit more. Some advantages are they can be read by the users offline also. They're always available because it's a physical copy. It gives help with installing the system because it's printed, it's not online, or it's not like the first one, help files, that you have to have the system installed. We can also have some disadvantages. Since it's a physical copy, it can be lost, misplaced, and because you're physically printing it, it's also limited. uh, Often like it's a little booklet, so it's a very extensive material you have to go through to particularly find the problem which you have, and usually it's not up to date because like you every for every system change you have to print another new manual, lots of paper in terms cost in terms of paper and the trees and all. So that's why training is important. Training end users in a new system is very important because it can increase their productivity and also greatly impact the user experience. Like if I know how to use the system, for right now for example I'm using the system, I know how to use it, and I'm happy that it's like giving me the result I want. However, if I'm doing something and the system is not giving me the result I want because I'm not doing it in the correct order, I will be unhappy with the system. But the system is just doing its job. I am the problem. So that's why training the end user to get to the target audience, target goal is best. Here are some methods of user training: self instruction, formal classes, remote or online training. Self instruction: user can learn how to use a new system on their own provided they have the right materials to learn from. Some advantages are it's lower cost, only materials are needed, no technical experience, flexible timeline because it's you are learning yourself, so you can choose when you want to learn. uh, some disadvantages are because you're learning yourself, there is no guidance. If you do something wrong, you have to figure out what you have done wrong. With a new system, it's kind of tricky to understand what you where you have gone wrong. User might feel lost or overwhelmed. As I said, if you don't know where you're going, this is like literally you can't figure out your life. Also, since you're uninstructed, learning might be a little faster, but you have to learn a lot more things, and some things might be misunderstood. So that was for self instruction. This is formal classes. Sit in a classroom listening to an instructor who shows and explains how to use the system. Some advantages are structural learning environment, expert on hand who can answer the questions, and it's a curriculum designed to teach all aspects. In self instruction, you learn one aspect and then you learn another aspect. In uh, formal classes, it's a full curriculum, including you learn the stuff which could be misunderstood. This is, since it's a formal class, it's not on your own time. It's expensive. You have various costs such as the teachers, building facilities, and you have the rigid structure. This is actually like taking classes, and not too much personalization is possible. Remote or online class is when like you get some kind of remote teaching from like Skype, Google Hangout, Meet, from wherever. Some advantages of structural learning: expert on hand to answer the questions, curriculum designed to teach all aspects, and this one has a flexible location because it's online or remote. Other one, you have to go physically to the class. Also, again, expensive, teacher, internet connection needed, and also cannot like may user may not feel fully connected with the teaching because it's online or remote, and obviously since it's online it has to be computer based. Okay guys, that's all for today. Watch out for part 4. Thank you.